The old words still live in the wind, if you know how to listen. When we speak in our tongue, the tongue of our grandmothers and grandfathers, we are not only speaking to each other, we are speaking to the land, to the spirits. Each word has a memory. Mimi means water. Not just the liquid, but the spirit of water, the life it gives, the sound it makes when it falls. When I say Mai, I feel the cool of the stream in my throat. I feel the old songs we sing when we offer tobacco to the river. That is memory. That is language. Colonization tried to break that. The boarding schools washed our mouths with soap, beat our bodies, shamed our elders. They called our words savage, dirty, useless. But those words lived. Some of them went underground. Some of them slept in the minds of the old ones. You see, memory is not stored only in the brain. In our way, we do not just remember the past. We carry it. We wear it. Each time we say the name of a river in Lakota, we awaken the spirit of that river, and we remind the young ones that it is alive, that it knows who they are. When we call a mountain by its sacred name, we ask permission before we climb. We ask permission before we climb. I have seen elders weep when they hear their language spoken after many years. Not because they are sad, but because the words carry the smell of campfire, the sound of drums, the laughter of old friends now gone. That is what the language holds. To remember is to speak. To speak is to bring back what was taken. I have taught children who thought our words were strange until they learned to dream in them. And then they stood taller. They walked with something in their chest, because the language gave them back their face. The ceremonies sound different when we use English. You can translate the meaning, yes. But the shape of the prayer, the rhythm, the dance between breath and silence, that only lives in the old tongue, you must speak to the spirits in the way they remember. Otherwise, you are shouting across a canyon, and even then, the earth hears, but it takes longer to understand. I do not hate English. It has allowed us to survive, to write, to speak across great distances. But I love Lakota. I love it like I love the smell of rain on dry sage. Like I love the way my grandmother's voice trembled when she sang lullabies. And so we must speak, even if we only know a little, even if we stumble. Every word we speak is a seed, and the earth remembers, the language remembers. And one day the wind will carry those words again, strong and clear, across the hills, and the stones will nod, and the rivers will laugh. One dreams in vision. You do not chase visions. You prepare for them. You clean your body. You cleanse your mind. You enter the sweat lodge and you ask with humility, Dokeya Ankayapi, we ask first. You cannot demand a vision. You must be chosen by it. And when it comes, you must honor it. Carry it like an ember, protect it, feed it. When I was a young man, I fasted on the hill for 4 days and nights. No food, no water, only the wind and the sun and the cry of the hawk overhead. I was seeking a vision, not just for myself, but for the people. I laid tobacco on the ground. I sang the old songs, and when my body was weak, my spirit became strong. Sometimes a vision is not what you want. It may show pain, sickness, death. But it shows these things to teach you, to warn you, to help you change. A true vision does not flatter. It challenges, it humbles, and it always serves something greater than the self. In ceremony, the veil between this world and the next grows thin. That is why we sing, why we dance, why we fast. We make ourselves light enough to travel, and the spirits, seeing our sincerity, come closer. Sometimes they bring visions, sometimes only silence, but even the silence speaks. There are those born with the gift, the ones who dream every night, who see things before they happen. We honor them, but every person has the ability to receive a vision. It is not magic. It is relationship. You must be willing to be broken open, to let go of what you think you know. The old people say, Nagi Yuha, have a spirit. Not just a body, not just a mind, but a spirit that knows the path of dreams. The spirit does not travel by maps. It travels by meaning. A dream is a compass. A vision is a fire in the night. So dream. But dream with purpose. Dream with respect. Prepare yourself to receive. And when the vision comes, greet it like an old friend. Offer it tobacco. Offer it your life. And walk in the direction it shows you. On the living world. Mita Oye Luyasin. The river is alive. The mountain has spirit. Even what you call dead wood has purpose and memory. When a tree falls, it feeds the earth, speaks with fungi, shelters small ones. Nothing ends. It just shifts. You might call it ecology. You want to know the laws of the universe? Watch the birds. Watch how they return each season, not one too early, not one too late. See how the salmon knows its stream. See how the snow falls when the earth is thirsty. No book will teach you what the bear knows, what the wind knows. Sit quietly, long enough, and they will teach you. The old ones say, while watching Thankanai, have a strong heart. Because to live in right relation with the world is not always easy. It means humility. It means accepting that the earth does not owe you anything. It means you owe her everything. To be Lakota, or Dain, or any of our peoples, is to carry this knowing in your bones. Not just to believe it, but to live it, speak it, eat it, pray it. And though the modern world may laugh at these old ways, call them quaint, call them myth, I say, look at the sickness of their cities, the grief of their cities, the grief of their people. They have forgotten the living world. But it is not too late. The trees still speak. The rivers still sing. They are waiting for us to remember. And when we do, they will receive us like lost relatives coming home. I begin with this truth because it holds everything. It is not just a greeting, not just a prayer. It is the whole understanding of our place in the world. Everything that moves and breathes, and even what appears still. The rivers, the wind, the stones, all are alive. The world is not a collection of resources, not a machine to master. It is a living family. Each tree, each drop of rain, each gust of wind has its own spirit, its own voice. If you walk gently and wait long enough, you can hear them, but you must quiet your own voice first. Time is not what the modern world believes it to be. Not a race, not a straight line from birth to death. We live in a circle like the sun that returns each day, like the seasons that follow one another in endless rhythm. In our way, the past and future sit beside us. Our ancestors are not gone. They stand behind us. And so we speak of the 7 generations. Our decisions must honor the old ones and prepare the way for those yet to come. We are only borrowing time, carrying it carefully through our lives so that we can pass it on. Ceremony teaches us this rhythm. When we sit in the sweat lodge or dance the old dances, we are not just performing traditions. We are stepping into sacred time, time without clocks, time that listens. Ceremony reconnects us to the spirits, to the land, and to the story that began long before us and will continue long after. And what is spirit? What is ceremony? In this world, personhood does not belong only to humans. A bear has personhood. So does a river, a mountain, a song. To respect others is to treat all life as persons. That is why we ask permission before we hunt. That is why we give thanks to the tree when we take its wood. This way of being teaches us to be small, and from that smallness comes great strength. You see, the modern world believes power means control, but real power is harmony. It is knowing when to step back, when to speak, when to be silent. It is learning from the coyote, the turtle, the fire, Everything is a teacher if you are patient. We know pain. Do not mistake our kindness for weakness. Our history is full of sorrow. Lands taken, languages nearly lost. Ceremonies outlawed, children stolen from their homes. And still we are here, not because we forgot, but because we remembered. Pain does not erase us. You survive by holding on to the teachings, even when others try to strip them from you. You survive by keeping the songs in your breath, even if you must whisper them in secret. You survive by knowing who you are, even when the world tries to tell you otherwise. But survival is not enough. We are here to live fully, in beauty and connection and honor. The old ones taught that you cannot live well without gratitude, without prayer, without laughter. Even in hardship, we give thanks to the dawn, to the food, to the spirits who guide. As for philosophy, the modern world sees it as a set of arguments, theories, and books written by men with long titles. But our philosophy is not written in ink. It is carried in the body, spoken in story, remembered in dance, revealed in vision. It is in how we walk, how we listen, how we treat those around us. It is the wisdom of grandmothers. We do not separate thought from feeling, or spirit from matter. Our knowing is whole. And if you ask us for the origin of life, we will tell you a story. Not to distract you, but because story is how truth lives. We do not aim to dominate nature or rise above it. We seek to live in balance. What you take, you must give. What you hurt, you must heal. The world is not yours to use. It is yours to care for. The earth is speaking. The animals are retreating. The waters are rising. This is not punishment. Come back to the circle. Sit quietly. And you still have time to remember.